Hey, testing out this mic again. Maybe it'll work this time. Been having challenging times trying to get these mics to work and not make so much engine noise and road noise and wind noise, all that stuff to where you can actually hear me. So anyway, it's a cool, brisk day here in Washington in November. I think it's November 4th. So anyway, it's kind of cold out here today. It's only about 50 degrees. So I guess for November that isn't too bad. But when you're used to riding all summer and all of a sudden the temperature drops and it's been raining and raining for like the last 3 weeks, I haven't been able to get out at all. So anyway, today's the first day that it's not raining. Still a little wet out there with a bunch of darn leaves and stuff like that, but I'm going to go for it anyway just because I can't sit around and stare at the bike no more. Gonna hop over to a friend of mine's house, see if he's around. I didn't bother to call like I probably should, but anyway, I just want to ride anyway, so get this baby out and get the battery charged up, get the motor warmed up, get the fuel tank fueled up. I don't like to leave the bike through the winter without a full tank of fuel. It builds condensation in there and stuff like that, and so try to keep it full during the winter time. And up here in Washington, I try to put that non-ethanol gas in there for the winter time at least, especially when it's been sitting around for a while. Supposedly it helps with the jets and everything in your engine there, keep things from getting eaten alive by all that ethanol stuff. So the non-ethanol gas is the way to go. It's the way to go, I think, all year around, but the price of it here in Washington is $6 a gallon, so, and not every gas station has it, so you're out riding all over the place. You can't expect to get that. So, but I do have a gas station close to home there that I can fill it up for the winter time anyway. But like I said, $6 a gallon is just flat ridiculous. I don't know what to say about the government here in Washington, but they're not afraid to tax the hell out of us, that's for sure. So anyway, I wish they would vote all those people out. But I don't want this to be a political video. It's more about riding and testing out this microphone on here and getting out in the wind a little bit and enjoying the day. You see the road's still a little bit damp for all the rain we've had over the last few days, but it's almost dried out enough to be able to get out here anyway without completely making a horrible mess of the bike. I guess you guys in the drier climates don't have to worry about that as much, but up here in Washington it's pain in the butt. You take your bike out and get caught in a rainstorm, and you get home and look at your bike and all the water and mud and everything that gets thrown all over your bike. Geez, it takes 4 or 5 hours to clean the darn thing back up again. So you don't want to rush out into another rainstorm and make all that work for yourself again. I suppose I could just leave it dirty, but kind of sad to have a brand new bike sitting out there in the garage all dirty. So I do my best to try to clean it up once in a while. In the summer, it's mostly trying to keep the bugs off it. Now, in the fall here, it's trying to keep the rain off of it. So, anyway, I was reading the Harley Owner's Manual. I don't know if anybody else reads that darn thing, but I was skimming through it one time, and I noticed that it had in asterisks, if you're riding in a climate that's under 60 degrees, they recommend you change your oil every 1,500 miles. So all you guys that like to ride 5,000 miles in between oil changes, I don't think you're doing your bike any favors. Especially when they say, especially this time of year, it's way under 60 degrees. So need to keep an eye on that oil change interval, So usually during the summertime anyway, I do it every 2,500 miles. But if I ride that much in the winter, which I usually don't, usually if I get my oil changed in the fall, it's hard to get out and get that many miles on the bike, before springtime, and so I can usually get through the winter time without having to go over too many miles. But anyway, it's something to think about if you're up in the Northwest or probably even the Northeast. Temperatures don't really warm up that much. Here it is noon and it's only 50 degrees out here, so I gotta keep an eye on the mileage, I guess, which I'm still doing all right. I've got 4,100 miles on this thing, and I've already changed the oil twice, so I think I'm good for another 1,000 or so. So I don't know. We'll see if I get that many miles on it during the winter here, but I will if I make a trip down south. In years past, in the wintertime, I like to get the heck out of this cold weather up here in Washington and head down to Arizona and hit Arizona Bike Week and stuff like that, and basically just go find some sunshine and and some other guys that are riding. So we'll see if I get a chance to do that. I think that's, I don't know, first week of February or something like that. I don't know the exact dates, but somewhere's around that time frame anyway. So I got a couple of months before I really got to worry about it. So, but I'll start making plans around that time. And I don't know. It's always a challenge to try to get down to the south from the north during the winter time, because not only all the rain up here in Washington, but then I got to go over the Siskiyou Pass down from Oregon into California, and that one gets up there and gets quite a bit of snow. And so getting out of the Northwest and through Washington, Oregon, and down into California, man, you got to really kind of watch the weatherman and see what he says about when the next system's coming through, when it goes out, and you can't go riding through that pass if there's just been a big snowstorm with snow all over the ground. So you got to plan that one out a little bit to make sure you can get down there without too much of a hassle. I've gotten caught in that pass a couple of times with snow, and if you get there when it first starts, it ain't too bad. But if it's been snowing for a week or something, and even when they plow it, there's still a nice coat of ice all over the road because it's cold up there. So, and if I can't go that way, I can always head out Washington, Idaho, over there to Twin Falls, and then head south from there and go down through Nevada. But that sure is a long, boring route. I mean, there's absolutely nothing out there in Nevada. It's just like miles and miles and miles of nothing, So if you're wanting to make good time, that's the way to go. It's probably a little quicker than heading south through California, but on a motorcycle, boy, it sure gets boring. I don't know. And me, I don't like to ride at night anymore. It's just too much for me. I can't see well enough. Too many animals out there. And so I try to just do my riding during the day. So anyway, sitting out there and mile after mile of nothing but tumbleweeds, it's not really what I like to ride for. I like to ride and see the scenery and stop. I like the California coast a lot better. Even if it's winter time, at least you got the Pacific Highway to ride and nice views of the ocean. You got lots of restaurants along the way to stop anywhere and get a good view and enjoy the time instead of just sitting out there staring at tumbleweeds. So anyway, that's what I'd like to do. We'll see if it happens. I don't know, but that's kind of my plan. I ordered a new seat for my bike today, but they say it takes a couple of months to get here, 2 or 3 months or something, so hopefully it'll get here by then, so I'll have a nice seat to ride on. I ordered the Bad Boys seat. They're out of California down there. American-made Harley-Davidson seats, or, you know, they're not Harley-Davidson seats, but they're made for Harley-Davidson, so anyway, pretty cool looking seats, those Bad Boy seats. Watching reviews on all of those, you know, Mustang seats and Saddleman seats and those seats, and, you know, the touring seats from Harley and all this kind of stuff. Fortunately, some of them haven't quite got up to speed with the new design of these Harleys that changed in 2024. So, but Bad Boys has, they've got the brand new model out. It looks really good. All the reviews I saw are nothing but positive on it. I didn't see anybody say anything bad about them. So we'll see. And you know, the price was a couple of $100 less than the other ones too. So I was kind of surprised at that. But hurry up and get through this light here. Look at that. We made it. Just like that, around that bend, and away we go. Coming into, this is Marine View Drive here in Everett, Washington. So this takes us right along the waterfront in Everett, by the naval base over there, and by the boat launch, and by the marina. All that stuff is right down here at the waterfront of Everett. Lots of restaurants and bars and stuff down there too, if you're wanting into that kind of thing. So I just like to ride. I like being by the water. It's my thing, I guess. Kind of like the California coast. I like being by the water. It just makes me happy looking out there. I don't know why. I would much rather ride by the coast than up in the mountains. No, don't get me wrong. I like riding up in the mountains too. You know, one of my favorite rides is up and over the North Cascades Highway up there. Lots of good scenic views up there too. A few lakes and rivers and all that kind of thing. But I still prefer looking out at the water, the sound, or the ocean, or whatever. I don't know why. Just always been my thing, I guess. Riding down to California, I've been down there so many times from here. Just rode that Pacific Highway. I love it during the summer down there. That's my favorite ride, riding down that road and seeing all the surfers out there and all the beach bars and all that kind of stuff. It just, I don't know, it's nice and warm and it's relaxing, great place to hang out and ride away down there every day. So I'd love to move down there, but I think the taxes in California are worse than here. That old Governor Newsom down there, he hasn't done anybody any favors. But I don't know, this guy we got up here, he's not any better. He just raised the taxes to the highest increase in Washington state history. So yeah, it's the tax man. About time for one of them Boston Tea Party things, you know. Throw our government guys out of there. Get some people in there that can not steal all the money. And the last governor we had here, what the heck did he do? They said there's $1.6 billion worth of money missing. How can $1.6 billion just be missing with nobody having a clue of where it went? It's like, you know, we got state auditors and all that kind of stuff, and none of them were bright enough to figure out where $1.6 billion went. You know, sounds like an inside job to me, I guess. So, but what the heck? I'm just a guy out here. Seems like there's got to be some other people out here that can put that together. I mean, if the auditor can't figure out what the heck happened, then they ought to be fired. But knowing the Washington State residents, they'll vote them back in there. That's kind of what they do around here. No matter how bad a job they do, they vote them back in there. So I don't know. I like some other guy's way. You don't do a good job, you're fired. So I think there's a bunch of them need firing around here, but I don't know what it is. But the people of Washington State, they just vote them back in there. Let them steal and waste some more money. I don't know. But anyway, here we are down by the naval base over there. That's where you turn to go out there on the naval base. All the Navy guys. Lots of Navy guys around this area. A good friend of mine, he was in the Navy. Yeah, lots of Navy people around here. When I had my boat, which I don't anymore because I sold it, I used to launch out here at Everett and go fishing out there, but I sold that. I wasn't taking advantage of it enough, and the boat was just sitting around, and finally I just ended up selling that. I do better with the motorcycles. I mean, even in November I get to go for a ride. Maybe not every day, but I still get to use it all year. I mean, I'll even get out here in January. January is, surprisingly, it doesn't rain as much in January. It's cold as hell. You got to wear lots of warm stuff, but at least it's not wet that much. It's kind of like January is a funny month. It's cold, all right. Sometimes it does snow, but it's funny. You get to January, and it seems like there's always a couple of weeks of sunshine that month. When there's a couple of weeks of sunshine, that's when I'm trying to get out of town and head to Arizona before the next storm comes through. So anyway, we got done with the view there. Now we're kind of heading up into the waterfront area of Everett. Pacific Avenue. If I take a left here and follow it all the way down, I can go all the way down to I-5, but I don't want to go that far. Just kind of taking the back roads over here to a friend of mine's house. I sure hope this microphone's working. This is like the 4th or 5th time I've come out here and attempted to get a video, and the video part seems to come out all right, but the darn audio, it's been giving me a tough time. So I'm hoping I got it figured out now. It was working in the house, but I haven't tried it out here to figure out how much road noise I'm going to get. So I'm hoping it's good. Anybody out there in the YouTube world got one of those bad boy motorcycle seats? Let me know what you think of it. I've got mine on the way. Thinking I ordered the Python. They got 3 or 4 different models, but I got the Python one. Just driver's seat, passenger seat, all in one. They make the other one, the Freedom one, you can solo it out if you want. But I ride solo like I am now, but I don't like going through the hassle of changing things around all the time. I just like to put it on there and be done with it. So the old lady rides with me probably half the time, so I sure as heck don't want to have to be swapping stuff on and off, all that kind of thing. It just good enough if it just works and it's comfortable. I think they look good in the pictures anyway, so make the bike look a little better. So hopefully it'll be as comfortable as everybody says. I mean, this stock seat isn't really that bad. The only thing I don't like about the stock seat is it's got me pushed right up on top of the fuel tank. It's kind of like a nut buster. It's like, man, it seems like you could have you sit back just a little bit. And according to the guys on YouTube that got them, the reviews I saw, they set you back another inch or so away from the fuel tank, and they narrow it up in the front so it's not such a nut buster. So I'm hoping that works. We'll see. But I've also heard they take a long darn time to get your shipment. You're not going to order it on Monday and get it by Friday. It's going to take a couple of months. So I guess they make them to order or something. They're all handmade right there in California. So one at a time, I guess. I don't know. I haven't been there. I haven't actually talked to them. I just ordered the darn thing. So alrighty, on the road again. Saw Rob's new little puppy dog. Sounds like he calls it Red. It's a good name for it. It's Red. Me, I'm just out here messing around with these microphones, see if I can get them to work. Hopefully it will. Almost made it. Well, the freeway is still moving out there anyway. Wow. When I go around this corner, look straight ahead out there, Mount Baker, it's looking really, really cool. Full of snow out there, big old mountain just full of snow. Lots of people like going skiing out there and snowboarding out there and snowmobiling out there all winter long. It's looking like it's pretty much ready, I guess. Should be able to see it about right now. Mount Baker out in the distance, looking really nice. Across the lanes. This part of the freeway is always kind of crazy through here. Another half an hour, this will be all stopped. But I made it through okay today. got out here today. It's been a few weeks and nice to be back in the saddle again. I don't know. I just go for a ride, even if it's a short ride. Just kind of blows all the stress right away. Come home all cleared out like a good therapy session. I guess they call it throttle therapy. It works for me anyway. Pretty nice. Look at that flag. No wind at all. A lot of times the way the wind's just howling through here, but not today. Looking good. Now you can go faster in the slow lane than fast lane. I don't know what it is with those guys that want to get out in the fast lane and go slow, but that's what they do anyway. It's alright. We can go around them. shiny Rubicon there. Either they just detailed it or brand new. Looking pretty sharp anyway.